What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando here, and let's talk about designing. And when I say designing, I'm talking about designing with a purpose. What does that actually mean? When I design stuff, I'm designing with the end user in mind. I want to make sure that I'm making something relatable to make the sale a lot easier. And I know when we design stuff and we create these brands, we want to sell to the world. That's always the dream. That's the bigger picture, right? But it's hard to sell to the world if you can't just sell to one person. You know what I mean? So when I design stuff, I like to make things really relatable, and I want to make sure that I could easily sell that to somebody. So when I did leftovers, I made the Coogee sweater design. That Coogee sweater design was an easy sell because I know I could sell it to the hip hop head, sell it to sneaker head. They understand that. They knew what the Coogee sweater was. They knew the stance. They knew what that was. Without putting his picture on there, without putting his face on there, all I used was a sweater, and people already related with it and they knew what it was. Am I saying start designing stuff around celebrities and stuff like that? No, but anybody who was a hip hop head, who was a sneaker head, who knew who Notorious B.I.G. was, knew exactly that stance, that sweater, that pose without having to put their face on there. Why did it work? Because it was relatable. Any fan would see that and be like, oh shit, I know who that is. That was executed cool. The design looked nice. Let me pick it up. So that's why I made for an easy sell. So when I design stuff, I'm designing it for one specific person. You know what I mean? And it always works when, like, let's say you're walking in the mall, you see a shirt. If you don't know the name brand of it, but you see that, you know, there's a funny message on it or a cool looking design, you look at it because it's relatable. If you're a Laker fan and you see a shirt that's Laker colored that doesn't say Lakers on it, but it's purple and yellow, most of the time you look at it and you think it's cool design because those colors relate and they mean something to you. Same thing with certain designs. It's like if I was walking down the street and I seen a shirt with a motorcycle on it, I'm into motorcycles, I'm gonna take a look at it. If I like the design, more than likely I'm gonna pick it up because that relates to me. That means something to me. You know what I mean? That's what makes for an easy sell. So if you're having a hard time selling some of your stuff and it just has, you know, your basic brand logo on it, let's say the design doesn't relate to many. Maybe it relates to certain people, and those certain people that you're trying to sell to aren't buying it. Maybe you're selling it to the wrong group. I get this question asked a lot, and it's like, can you check out my designs? Getting good traffic, but nobody's buying. And people aren't buying because they're not relating to it, or maybe they don't like the design or the price. You know, it could be a factor of all those things, but you have to remember that when you create something, you're gonna think it's dope, because as creators, as designers, as anybody, we're already gonna think it's cool because we made it, right? We put our heart and soul into it, so we think it's dope. When you put it out there to the market doesn't lie. The market will tell you if it's cool or not, because people either buy it or they don't. So how do I get around that, and how do I make sure that I can sell something? Is designing stuff with a purpose, designing stuff that's relatable to people. And I draw inspiration from everything. You know, it just depends on who I want to sell to. I make sure I know what the terms that they use are, what they're into, what's funny to them, what's cool to them. So if I was selling something to, let's say, like a lowrider. So in the lowriding world, there's a thing called chipping. Not a lot of people know this, but if your car's not really hopping right, you're considered a chipper. It's funny to a lot of people. So if I made a shirt that says no chipping, that means that you're actually hitting the back bumper all the time. Or if I made a shirt that just says back bumper all day, the lowrider community understands it, they'll get it, and it's relatable to them without even putting a lowrider on it. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff right there would help drive the sales. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out. If not, always draw inspiration from the people that you want to sell to. That's an easy way to go about it. Just find out what they're into and then sell directly to them. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Boy Big Brando, yeah.